The entire team at the Emsolation podcast acknowledges the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and work. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders and ancestors. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded and stand in solidarity towards a shared future. I personally want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I record this podcast every week, the Wurundjeri people. I recognise their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place I call home. Always was, always will be.
Russiano.
I can do it as long as I'm not tired. Oh my God, I've just become my father.
And Michael Lucas.
It's either torture or my personal vision of heaven.
This is Emsolation.
It explains your decorating style. Because you've just constantly felt like more.
More
we
is
need more. More is needed. Leopard print. Where is it? Neon. Fluorescent colours. Add a vintage Barbie. Quick.
You're in Emsolation.
Well, hello there and welcome to Emsolation. My name is M. Russiano and I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a podcaster, a maximalist power queen and a neurodivergent magic brain. And together with my best friend since I was 11, screenwriter, actor award winner, Logie award winner, Mr. Michael Lucas, I bring you Emsolation twice a week now. You're getting your 2 eps a week. You've long been demanding it and we're providing it. Tuesdays are now free time. It's free time Tuesdays. As I said, remember the greatest part about primary school was when your teacher would unexpectedly say, we're going to have free time this afternoon. Oh, it was so good. For a long time, I didn't do the second ep a week because I thought that I had to have some kind of really serious, concrete idea with a theme. And then I remembered, no, that's not what you all want. I was placing unnecessary pressure on myself. So every Tuesday it'll be something new, something different, kind of like the old radio days, you know, where I would talk about something in my life or a TV show I'd watched, just without the trauma. Our first Tuesday app did go out this week, so if you haven't heard it, please go have a listen. Today's episode, the chaos is back. I have to say, don't worry. I know a few of you were like, it's been so professional the last few weeks. No one said that, but I felt like that was that general vibe. We did a late night record. Both Michael and Chella had come from set and my daughter was in fine form. Don't you worry about that. We spoke about the MTV VMAs, Taylor Swift dropping all sorts of Easter eggs. We spoke about, what else did we talk about? Oh, there's a lot of, I revealed that I don't use tissues. I don't believe in tissues. And that just derailed everything for the entire time, I have to say. We spoke about my turmoil over Father's Day because long-time listeners know Mother's Day was an absolute debacle and I'm faced with a choice. Am I petty or am I the bigger person? You'll hear how that plays out. What do we talk about first? I can't even think. Oh, Britney Jean Spears. The 22-minute audio. I had a very long, hard listen to that. We dissected it. We were fascinated by it. What's next for her? She's got the number 1 song in the country. That's what we did. Britney Jean Spears, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Father's Day. That's what this episode is. You'll love it. Ben Wosley is calling it our funniest ep ever. Ben Wosley is our executive producer. He may be biased. Thanks for being here. If you're new, welcome to the club. Welcome to the community. You are I'm just so happy to have you. I love making this thing. I hope it never stops. I hope you all keep showing up and please share all the episodes, any episode you love, just like copy and paste the link to a friend, whatever. Just this is how we grow is because of the Emsolation community and you guys spreading the good word. All right, that's enough from me. Play the music.
M. Russiano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
You're so untethered.
I'm untethered.
She's floating in the wind.
That's exactly how I feel. I feel like all the edges of my body are liquefying.
Do you ever feel
like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel? Yes, Katie.
Yeah.
You'll never forget. The Veronicas made fun of her for that lyric. Do you remember that controversy? The Veronicas made fun of that lyric. And I think about Katy Perry. Obviously, I think about Katy Perry in Rio. a lot. We mentioned that on last week's podcast. You know, that moment where Russell Brand dumps her, says he wants a divorce. She's about to go on stage.
Iconic moment.
Never forget.
Yeah, she gets on the lift and she's crying, and then all of a sudden, stage Katy Perry. And then whenever I'm feeling untethered, which is quite often, I think about myself as a plastic bag floating in the wind wanting to start again.
Oh,
It's a poignant lyric.
it is.
It's up there with Hey Jude.
We have a huge problem with an oversupply of plastic rubbish in this world. It's growing every day. She was ahead of the curve. There's so much loose plastic in this world, in our seas, in our airways.
Yes.
She could have been referencing American Beauty.
Exactly.
You know the scene where Lester's is a really... Anyway,
It's about the only part of American Beauty that's not problematic these days.
I was going to say, are we really discussing American Beauty right now?
No, it's really it's a thing.
Oh, okay. We should start the podcast. Michael Lucas, in from set. Oh, long day today. Is everyone still buzzing and talking about my visit to
They
set?
are. Absolutely. I have to say that M's appearance was included in a sizzle reel. It really was, actually. In fact, it was the whole first scene of said sizzle reel, and it caused a great deal of excitement at the network. It's been sent internationally even for specific eyes to see.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, also, unfortunately, I was cut from my other bit I was meant to do, so... The casting room is brutal. It's cute how you think that shushing me is going to
I know. Have I learned nothing? In fact, if anything, I should have just, I don't know how I'd handle these
Segue
moments.
harp.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Hi, gay.
Hi, gay.
Oh, so droll.
Sad.
I am dealing with, do you know what's sad?
It's so
the energy,
sad.
the lack of energy coming from the two TV workers in the room right now. Like, spare me. Spare me your, I don't have any kids, I've got a job I love and I'm so tired of got no energy.
I think Chella has, to be fair, she might be moving into an industry that she loves. I don't think you can say that she, for the 10 hours of the day that she's working, is loving every minute of it.
Do you know what her previous job was? Rotisserie chicken and cat and salami.
I think there'd be times where she's stuck in traffic where she would think of that salami and think, well, at least I could eat a slice here or there.
Did you ever do that? Did you ever one
Yeah,
for
of
you, one?
course.
Really?
Really?
Because I'd go straight from school, so I wouldn't have time to eat, so I'd eat the Twiggy sticks in the back.
Hi, gay.
That's the opposite.
You used to come home and complain about the old ladies who, what would they make you do? They'd ask for Devon or something? What they ask
No,
for?
Patricia
Yeah?
asked for her turkey cut on size number 2, and she had to check every slice.
So Chella would have to put the paper over and back every time she cut a piece of turkey.
What?
And it had to be flat. If there was a crinkle in it, I had to start again.
Wow.
I love it. I love Patricia. See, that's kind of attention to detail I expect around insulation. So if you could just lift your energy levels, please, because I am a plastic bag drifting through the wind. But I just feel like, what's my purpose? I've done the speech.
Yeah.
I've said all my words. I don't know. I was holding onto it for so long. It's like my wedding. It was like my 21st. It was like, you know what I'm getting at? Like, what do you do after the big event?
I don't know, but there's one thing I know about you. It's just that very, very often we hit things that feel like your magnum opus.
I've done it.
Rage and Rainbows, that was a magnum opus. Divorce, the musical was. There's been so many times and you think, where next? Where?
Chella's 21st.
Let's just say, that's a good point.
Chella's 21st is not about me. So I'm
Well,
happy for
I would like to state on the record that I said I didn't want a party, and Em said, it's not about you, it's about me.
I didn't say it was about me. I said specifically.
I got you here.
Correct. You're
No.
21st. And you agree with me, bitch.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm with your mum on this. I really am.
Oh, my God. Finally some support. Tell her why you agree with me. Tell her.
Well, fear is A, but no, I really think it is an occasion that should be marked, and I really do think it is important for all the people in your life, and I really think that you will, I look back on my 21st and I was at a very particular point in life. Spent a lot of my 21st pashing a girl, so it was very different.
Hi, gay.
But I just think it's one of those markers. You've got to observe it. And I personally, like your mother, when you hit milestones like this, you go, all out. You just do it. It's life.
Yeah. See?
Don't duck away from life, and you miss so much because of the pandemic. You didn't have the university experience that you should have had, that you earned, but you can have this party, and frankly, we can have it too. And if you think that we're not going to deeply embarrass you on the dance floor.
We don't have applause anymore.
I know. Ben took my applause button away and I wanted to give you an applause. And all I had was you doing screaming go.
Well, that was even more meaningful. I thought that was just what you're imagining that we're going to do. And frankly, if Taylor Swift's Trouble is on the playlist, that will be what happens. And you will enjoy it.
Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground.
Oh, fuck. Hang on.
Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground.
It was a strangled one.
Do you want to
that
do
I
over?
tried.
Do you
No,
want to do it
I
again?
can't. All right.
Okay. Twist my
I can't. All right.
twist my rubber arm. Here we go. Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground.
So again.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground.
It will.
What happened to the goat then?
I don't know.
It was like,
Look.
oh, don't chase me, I'm full of chocolate. Britney Jane Spears. Britney Jane Spears.
It's Britney, bitch.
What a week.
What a week. Number one. She's got the number one song at the moment. Hold me closer, turn it down.
Can you give you a musical review of her track?
Look, it's great. It's fine. I'm great. I'm happy for her. I love the story behind this song. So she's obviously, it's a duet with
Yeah.
Elton John. They were never.
Is it?
It's a remix.
Didn't Dua Lipa get here first?
Dua did, yeah. Dua did Cold Heart with him earlier in the year. And he was wanting to like capitalise on that because that went gangbusters. And he was talking to his husband, David Furnish. He was like, I want to do it again. And they wanted to do Tiny Dancer, The One, and Don't Go Breaking My Heart. So it's a 3-song mashup. And David said, "Why not Britney, babes?" And I was like, oh, fuck, you're onto something, Dave. So he bloody reaches out to Britney because Britney's quit. Britney's quit music. She never wants to ever go back. But when Sir Elton John slides into your DMs, you respond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he
Apart
did
from
it.
anything else, he's very rich.
He's so rich. And then I read this gorgeous interview that he gave around it, and he said, yeah, I want to be the beacon of place where people can come after trauma to rebuild their careers. I'm everyone's Uncle Elton.
Really?
It's like,
Does that extend to Madonna? I doubt it.
does that extend to me?
Wow.
Do you ever
I think he'd
feel
be into you.
like a plastic bag? Does it? It doesn't extend to Madonna, no.
No, he once called her a fairground stripper.
Anyway, she's having a great moment. And part of me is a little bit cynical as to the timing of the 22-minute now deleted audio/YouTube video that she put online. It was up for 30 minutes. Odd that it went out the same week, days, within days of the single.
Odd or incredibly smart?
Correct. Don't ever doubt Miss Britney Jean Spears.
No.
It was up for half an hour. And that's perfect, right? Because you're not going to leave it up. Because, oh my goodness, no. But half an hour is enough time for hardcore Britney fans everywhere to rip that, put it back down somewhere, deeply analyse it. Someone's going to lip sync it soon. I'm waiting for the first person to perfectly lip sync the 22-minute audio. But
You say you're looking for purpose. I think you found it.
I just am really pissed off with my mom and my dad, and I'm just so. That's how she sounds. So I sat through the entire 22 minutes, so you didn't have to.
I appreciate it greatly.
Yeah, and the most extraordinary. So it's. I mean, she does follow some kind of timeline, but she's in and out. The overwhelming sense is she's so fucking angry. And she wants to keep talking about it, and there's still sting in it. And she does say, right toward the end, she says this.
I get nothing out of sharing all of this. I have offers to do interviews with Oprah and so many people, lots of money, but it's insane. I don't want any of it. For me, it's beyond a sit-down, proper interview. I had no contact in that place for so long, and my heart would just want to stand up in my family's faces and scream and cry and throw a tantrum and go back in time and do exactly what I wanted to do at those times. Yeah, and might even spit in their fucking faces.
She doesn't want to sit down and do a proper interview because that would draw a line under it. And she doesn't want the public to forgive or forget. She doesn't want to forgive or forget. Because, you know, when you do the interview with Oprah, like Adele or Megan, or it's kind of like...
Closure.
Yeah.
It's also like, in those sort of interview things, anger doesn't work. It's not what people want from it. And she would be advised...
Spit in their face.
Yeah, exactly. I love that she did it this way. It feels like kind of punk to me that she's done it this way.
And powerful.
Yeah.
And loose cannony, but not loose cannony, really.
No.
Calculated.
Exactly.
Because it managed to come out the week of her first single in 6 years. It's not. Don't ever doubt Britney Jane Spears. I swear to God, you can't. But, yeah, the thing that I got out of it, I just kept listening, and the way she would say, what did I do and how the fuck did they get away with it? Like, she said that 4 or 5 times. She talked about threading a needle a lot, like just threading a needle.
Yes, there were a lot of needle and thread metaphors, and sometimes I was questioning some of those metaphors, but I totally got what she meant.
Oh, 100%. So here's the bit where she talks about how her mum, she felt like her mum set her up. So her mum came over for a sleepover with her mates, and then her mum said, we better go because I heard some people are coming, and those people were a SWAT team. Have a listen.
I remember my mom was sitting on the couch and she said, we've heard people are coming here today to talk to you. We should probably go, to a hotel or something. And I never really understood what she meant. I didn't believe her. Like, is a lawyer coming here? Who is coming here? Then 4 hours later, there were over 200 paparazzi outside my house videotaping me through a window of an ambulance holding me down on a groomer.
Then she talks about how she gets out of hospital and 2 weeks later she's on the set. Do you remember she did How I Met Your Mother?
Yes, I do.
Ted Mosley for Dr. Zinman.
Hi, Ted. I'll let her know.
Telepathically?
That's funny. That's funny, smart, and great.
Like just after getting out of hospital. And then went in and started recording Circus. All lies on me in the center of the ring just like a circus. Right? If she's that unwell, why is she in there? Like,
I know.
And then she goes on to do a 4.5-year residency in Vegas.
I know.
But not able to have her own, key card or keys to her car or cash.
It's wild.
It's wild. So I understand why she's so angry and doesn't want anyone to forgive or forget what's going on. And, Lynn Spears.
She's come out.
She put up this photo. Let me show you. She's put up this photo of her and Britney looking very happy, arm in arm. It's a black and white shot. It's so...
White gowns.
Yeah. And now this guy's hilarious. This guy's not forgiving.
So while all of us are so happy to hear Britney talk her shit finally, somebody isn't so happy. Her mother, and I use the term mother loosely, Lynn. Britney, your whole life I have tried my best to support your dreams and wishes, and also I have tried my best to help you out of hardships. I have never and will never turn my back on you. Your rejections to the countless times I have flown out and calls make me feel hopeless. I have tried everything. I love you so much, but this talk is for you and me only, eye to eye in private. Lynn, we all see right through you. You're just mad that you're about to lose your home and your vacation home. Britney needed you when she was being abused by the conservatorship for 14 years. She doesn't need you now, and that's why she's ignoring your calls.
Oh, Lynn. Lynn picked a side.
Lynn picked a side and then has gone on publicly in front of millions of people and said, this is a private conversation. Is it, bitch? Is it? Your daughter, and throughout this 22-minute audio, Britney keeps saying, I'm most angry with mum. I feel like dad had priors. He was apparently very hard on the brother who played football and was like a total monster parent. But she kept mentioning how let down she felt. And to me, Lynn was a coward. That's what this boils down to. And there's more coming.
Oh.
There's more coming. Like this can't be it. Speaking of, I just want to segue. Where's Beyonce's videos? What's going on?
Oh, no, I'm obsessed with this. I think about it all the time. We do have to mention
all right,
your
fine,
transition.
mention it. I sent you a voice memo.
It was such a moment of vindication. I cannot tell you. I just saw, much like Beyonce not releasing video clips, suddenly a voice message just pops in.
I knew you had
unadorned.
I thought I wouldn't put it in writing because you'd use it against me.
Well, the worst thing is, and it was quite manipulative of you, it disappeared after a certain amount of time. So I'm glad we're putting this on the record. But recap, Radio Reset. This time I can remember what to do.
Good, yes.
Famously, okay, Chella, full credit, came out saying that she loved Renaissance and gave it very high marks right from the start. She's child of the future. I initially was a bit so-so, but then I kept listening and it got into my skin and then I became obsessed with it. Holding out, just didn't connect with it. Didn't give her the Lizzo melodic joy. Just wasn't doing it for you until.
I don't know what happened. Like on Saturday, I was rage cleaning the house because no one in the family was getting up. Like I was doing my Saturday morning rage clean and I started playing Lemonade.
Yeah, of course. You're going to lose your wife. Of course.
And then I saw Renaissance, the album, and I thought, I'll just put it on.
Yeah.
And so I put it on. And then it just, as I was cleaning, I felt it infuse my head into my cells, into my DNA, into everything. And then I'm like, got me. And then I just can't stop listening to it.
I know. It is
like
wild.
A drug.
It's an absolute drug and you need to listen to it in order all the time. And it keeps spreading. And I've got many people that I speak to about this now. It's like AA, basically.
It's crazy.
And it begins...
It's the coronavirus of music.
Begins with this triptych of songs in the middle. Cuff it into energy, into Break My Soul. You get that, but then it keeps bleeding.
Oh, the end of Break My Soul.
Church Girl.
Ooh.
What's the song after Break My Soul?
No, end of...
Church Girl.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
it goes, you won't break my soul.
Yeah, Church Girl.
Bruh. You won't break my soul.
Yeah.
Church Girl.
It's that transition there. That's the best one of the whole album.
But
You're
also
a DJ.
now the 3
You're a
minute
DJ.
the 3 minute
might be
mark
next.
of
Chella just keeps talking over top of us. She has no radio.
The 3
no
minute
radio
mark.
skills. Stop the talk over, please. If you see one of us lean into the mic, you stop speaking. No one's voice is more important except mine.
Don't listen to it. As Beyonce would say, you better move.
Go,
move.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done now.
There's
Can I just say...
Tuesday night records are back, gang. You thought we'd be slick. You're fucking wrong. Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Is Lemonade a good rage listen for you with marriage?
Yeah.
Because I sort of feel like Beyonce, at least...
Who the fuck do you think I am? You ain't married to no average bitch, boy.
That's pretty good. But does it ever like... I mean, I feel...
Sorry, what?
I know, you're on the edge there. I feel like with her, though, it's kind of like she was competing against Becky with the good hair. You're just competing against, like, cycling.
Yeah, she did conveniently like had a little spat with Dad and then went back into her room and Break My Soul came on. And she started screaming it from her room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not being perfectly clear? There was nothing convenient about that. And that song, by the way, not just for your father, for you, your sister.
Excuse me.
Your brother, the dog that keeps pissing on the floor.
Child.
The dog that keeps pissing on the floor, the washing pile. I sing it to inanimate objects. I sit in the traffic in a red light going, you won't break my soul. Like, that was a very deliberate put on. It was musical accompaniment.
What's your favourite song right at this moment? Because it changes for me constantly.
Plastic on the Sofa.
That's pretty great.
Because of the runs. The singing. That's the most
I'm
beautiful singing.
Virgo's Groove at the moment.
Oh, Virgo's Groove's amazing.
It's amazing.
Aren't we in Virgo season though now?
Alien Superstar
Yeah.
is constant as well.
And I'm constantly unique. I constantly, but I'm also walking around going, it should cost $1 billion to look this good.
We are, Em and I don't want to strike terror into Chella's heart, but we are talking about having a private lounge room party where we play the album beginning to end. It'll probably be at about 6:30 so we can be resting
But
by
who are we
8.
inviting? Like, you're threatening, like, credible actors and stuff want to come. I think
People just need to be really
What's
committed.
the test? What's the test? We have to test them.
They have to be able to speak in a detailed way about why they love every single song.
Okay.
And they have to suggest appropriate props for every single song.
And what are we wearing? Like dancey clothes. It's like no
Well,
life,
this
no
is
life.
what's interesting about it because as to bring it right back, she has not released visuals.
Why? What's your
I
theory?
love it. I love that she resets the way she releases albums every single time. We've got so used to the visual album, so she thought, I'm gonna switch it up. This time they're just gonna have the lyrics and they're going to have the music and they're going to focus on that, and haven't we? And I also think maybe she's preparing something, like there's going to be some sort of like international live streamed concert where she'll just
What do you mean? She's going to
I
tell
don't know.
She's going to tell people to turn up at like Wembley or something. And Madonna might be there, and they might be like, I'm thinking is there going to be like a what's it called? Like a gorilla concert. You know, like she's
They'll
like
cross to
she's
everyone
like,
in that Vogue rap and then you'll just cut to Mary J. Blige crying.
Mariah crying. No, Shaka crying. No, I just think like she's going to say, Beehive, assemble, here's the time and date, and they're just going to show up because it's the Beehive, and then there's going to be a concert.
I think it's just going to be that you'll get like Beyonce will say a time and then there'll be a link to some sort of thing that we click on and it'll be something incredible. Like when, sort of like her wild version of like when Kylie did that
Disco ball
disco
thing?
one thing.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's my tip. But either way, I really love that she hasn't released any visuals for it except for that magnificent shot with her on that horse that you think's from Frozen 2.
You won't break my soul, unique. It should cost $1 billion to look this good.
M. Russiano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
MTV VMAs happened, didn't watch a lick of it, don't care. But what I did care about was Lil Nas X's outfit. Amazing. Unless I forget MTV VMA's rich history. Normally you and I love it, but we're feeling like plastic bags floating in the wind at the moment. We don't have the energy to commit to it at the moment.
Yes.
Right?
I don't know. I wouldn't describe myself as a plastic bag floating in the wind.
Were you?
I think my plastic bag's very full. I think it's sort
Right.
of weighed down. It's more like, you know what it is? It's like a plastic bag that is stretched and you're a bit worried it's a hole's
And you
going to
didn't
pop out.
want to you didn't want to give in and get a trolley because that was like you don't want to lose your pride.
And it's cutting into your
yeah,
fingers.
but you're not putting in a trolley.
And
you're
you're
doing one
feeling
trip from the
judged because
car.
you're like, I did have a reusable bag in the car, but
I
now I'm
did
just
it.
clinging onto
I'm
it.
doing one trip and one trip only. Yeah, no, I'm the opposite of that.
And also, you've bought like tissue boxes that are really cutting the sides of the plastic
yes,
bag.
who buys tissue boxes?
Me.
You're an environmental terrorist.
What? You don't buy tissues?
Nah.
What do you use?
I
Toilet
never...
paper. But can I
What?
say,
Or I don't. I blow my nose in the shower.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Straight down the drain.
That's disgusting.
Oh, you
What happens
piss in
if
the
you-
shower? Shut up.
What are you
As if
like?
you're not
What if
wearing
you need to blow your nose right now? You're just going to go up and finger over one nostril and snort?
Maybe. I can say honestly, I've never bought a box of tissues in my life, and I don't believe in hankies. They are the devil's work. Oh my God.
No, I don't believe in hankies.
Hankies?
Obviously I don't, but this is staggering, Revere.
I don't. It's a sensory thing. I now know. I don't like to blow my nose. I don't like to. It feels.
But sometimes it's necessary. What
I-
happens when you had all that COVID?
I didn't. I used nasal spray. Have you ever seen me blow my nose in your life? How many times in your life?
Do you use tissues?
I had a cold last week and we usually just use toilet paper in our house.
Or,
But
or straight in the shower?
or
Or what does Dad do every morning?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is.
Oh God. Yeah.
but I bought a box of tissues. This is riveting
I don't
stuff.
get snotty either because I don't eat food that sets off my nasal glands. Okay? I'm good.
I've
My body's
known
a
you
fucking
for
temple.
over 30
Have you ever seen me blow my
years.
nose?
No, and
Correct.
I've never even
Nick.
detected anything wrong.
Should cost $1 billion to look this good.
You know what? When I saw Beyonce, she blew her nose on stage.
Bullshit.
She did.
I don't believe you.
And she threw it
did.
into the audience.
There's no way.
No, she went to the back of
Ah,
the. She went to
hey,
the back of the
Fleming over
stage.
there.
And she did it. No, she didn't do it in front of the
Wait,
audience.
radio technique. If you're going to clear your snot, don't do it into the surround sound directional mic.
It was purposeful because we were talking about snot.
Your mother has worked hard to establish a tone of decorum.
Thank you. Thank you. So, MTV VMAs. Now, this is what I've taken from it. There was a lot of bums. Bums were the theme of the night. There was big bums, little bums, bums everywhere, right? But my favourite band, Italy's Manskin.
That absolutely do not use illicit drugs when they win Eurovision.
Drop to glass.
Yep.
The Damino.
Is it weird or racist that I've put Massimo from 365 Day and Night in that band in my head?
Are you lost, baby girl?
Well, no, he's way too meaty. They're all very like
I know
manic
they are.
pixie
That's
dream
right.
girl and boy.
They're more heroin than
heroin
steroids.
chic. And so their performance was censored for 45 seconds. They went away from main stage and was just this weird like test pattern-y shot of VMAs before it started. 40 seconds. They're performing on the huge stage. I'd be so pissed off if I was them. They'd also cancelled an appearance at some festival to be there. And I'm like, what's going on? So Damino was wearing chaps, topless, arseless chaps.
Oh.
It was magnificent. So he starts singing their song Supermodel, which is amazing. And halfway through the song, he turns around and it's just bum. And I'm like, yes. Anyway, I'm like, what's going on? Their bass player, Victoria, her top fell off.
Oh.
But here's the thing, right?
Why was his bum?
Worse, that. But she walked the red carpet, and on the red carpet she had a one-shoulder top on with her. One of her baps was out with a lovely little love heart nipple pasty.
Of course.
Okay,
yeah.
so she had the bap out, but it's a tiny little silver nipple pasty on the shape of a heart. And the other shoulder was, the other bap was covered with a top. Now, while she was playing bass, the top came completely off, and the non-nipple pastied breast was exposed. So one of her breasts was already out for the whole thing. It just had a little tiny little love heart sticker on it. And the other one, there's just a tiny little nipple. But they had to like stop the whole broadcast down and like 40 seconds is cut out because the tiny little nipple didn't have a little sticker on it.
Well, no one's going to forget what happened to Janet Jackson, are they?
Yeah, but old mate's ass cheeks were out completely.
Very different.
Nicki Minaj masturbated on stage to the beat of her own song.
I should hope so.
And then a tiny little nipple, but it was out. The other side was out. Just for the one little foil piece of little foil just wasn't there. So they lost 40 seconds of their entire performance. Like, why are women's... He had both his nipples out. Why does the fact that there's a tiny little bit of bulge, and she's not a big-breasted lady. Like, she wouldn't need a supportive bra. She could jog braless. Her chest and his chest are barely distinguishable if it wasn't for the tiny little love heart.
You've gone a
Breathe
long
the
way in this life in a beautiful world, but now I'm going to reveal to you men and women are sometimes judged by different standards.
What?
What?
What the fuck is hell?
Dun, dun.
But I think they're especially cautious about women's nipples because of the Janet situation.
Really?
I don't know.
But they're not cautious about what? His entire ball
Well,
sack hanging
go
with
chat
leather.
to Instagram where you can put up Tommy Lee Schlong, but you can't show a single woman breastfeeding.
Oh, I saw some footage where he got his dick out again. Put it away, Grandpa. Don't want to see it. I'm sick of seeing his dick.
I'm okay with seeing it, but I would prefer it to be in a different forum. Not personally, but I just feel like it's a bit full on to be putting it up there for all to flap it in the wind on Instagram.
Anyway, the other thing that went down is that the Taylor Swifties, and we have a lot of Swifties that listen to this podcast. When you look up Emsolation on Instagram and you look at the music that the Emsolation listeners are looking to, number one is Taylor Swift, number two is Beyonce.
That's
So-
weird.
That makes sense.
They love us. Yeah, no, it's not. They're people.
But I feel like the world is full of Swifties. You walk along the street, you're passing Swifties.
We're geriatric Swifties. Let's be honest.
Come on.
Well, we are. We're old. She's only 30, mate. You forget that.
Oh, really?
We're 43. Like, truly, we are geriatric Swifties at best.
Okay.
Senior Swifties.
Sure.
Anyway, 13 years ago, if you'll recall, Taylor Swift got up at the VMAs, and that was the famous night.
With Kanye. Oh, Beyonce was there too. Famously, it was all about her.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Beyonce, Kanye, Taylor. There we are
She just
again.
wanted to give Taylor her moment.
Yeah. So she got up. Now, in that night, you may not recall, but you probably do. Taylor wore, when she was getting up 13 years ago, before Kanye interrupted her, she had on this silver sparkly dress, right? That was like come up around her neck. It was very cute. It was very it was a vibe. And then she never commented about Kanye, never really said anything publicly. But then Reputation came out, right? And Reputation had all the whole snake theme going on.
Well, there was the reveal of the voice of what Kim had recorded.
Yeah. And in the Reputation film clip, she had on a very specific silver dress, very similar to the night of the VMAs, but different, but similar. And there was a lot of snakes running around in that, right? Then this year at the MTV VMAs, when she gets up to accept her awards, she teases. She's now also wearing pretty much the exact dress she wore in the Reputation film clip. And as she was getting ready, she made a TikTok and she, in her dress, revealed herself to Black Milk's pink venom. Snake, Venom, Reputation. And the Swifties are going nuts because basically the statute of limitations is up on Scooter Braun owning Look What You Made Me Do. Look what you made me do. That's nearly up. And they're all saying she's fucking doing Reputation Taylor's version. It's happening. So she's teased brand new music, but the Swifties are more focused on this.
She loves a clue, doesn't she?
She loves an Easter egg. I respect that maybe Taylor sits in bed at night with her 4 cats while she's listening to Do You Ever Feel Like a Plastic Bag? She probably helped them write that. That wouldn't surprise me. What song is that from? Again?
That's from Teenage Dream.
Dream.
No, it's not.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes, that
No,
album.
Firework. Because baby,
No, that's
song.
the name. That's the name of the song, but it's from the album.
No,
Teenage
I
Dream.
wanted to know the name of the song.
Oh, Firework. Okay.
Yeah, so I like, and she's sitting there going, what can I give? Like, what are my Easter eggs this year? Like, I'm going to do this dress. Like, does she sit there and plot the Easter eggs herself?
Can you imagine? I mean, just knowing that your fans are going to go that crazy.
And they get it.
Like how Britney can know I'll post it for half an hour and then it'll be dissected to the end of time.
Well, I have to say, the Emsolators, when I was doing The Masked Singer, I was doing brooch Easter eggs, wasn't I? Do you remember? I was putting on brooches.
Ah.
Oh.
You and I talked about it. And people were picking it up. They were getting my little Easter eggs. They were. Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not to the level of the Swifties or the Beehive, but, you know, I appreciate that kind of work. So
Yeah.
It might
Like
have
a
just
bit of-
been your voice
Yeah, that.
gave it away.
Oh, go on. Hockaloogie, dickhead.
It says you. All your coughs sound like that.
Do you not?
They do.
How dare you?
Look, someone find the nearest drain and do what needs to be done.
Let's get to
Clearly.
something less controversial. It's Father's Day this weekend. Now, shall we
Can't
go
wait
back-
to hear which track from Lemonade you choose to play that morning.
Shall we go back in time
Is that healthy?
to Mother's Day?
Nah, I think we've done that. We trauma heals.
We remember. We haven't done
Sorry?
it with you present with them being able to look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
No
I was
way.
there.
Okay.
I lived it.
I'm going to put a pin in this and talk about why I'm going to need some advice on which road do I take. Do you ever feel like a petty
I'm telling
bitch?
you, I'm sensing it's not going to be the high road. I can tell you that much.
Sometimes when they go low, you go fucking lower.
Well, look,
Put that on a T-shirt, Michelle Obama.
I reckon that was Michelle said that in the Trump election. And was that strategy successful? No.
So I was in the gluten-free supermarket that I have to go to get everything from. And, you know, like where one loaf of bread costs $27.
Where you're absolutely not buying tissues, yep.
Absolutely not. And I'm not an environmental terrorist, although I do drink almond milk. So I think it all balances out. And there was an ad in the shop. And the tagline was, "It's Father's Day. Celebrate the hero of your family." I was like,
You're like, this needs a trigger warning.
you fucking what?
Hero.
What is this assumption that the father is the hero of the family? Like, I'm sure my dad is my hero, for sure. It's cool to think that your dad is the hero, but to have the third party make an assumption?
Well, they didn't say that there's only one hero in the family.
Well, they didn't say that there wasn't. Not one for hero in the family. They didn't say celebrate.
One of the heroes.
See what I'm saying?
That's so catchy.
So I was already quite mad. And I walked out of the shop.
It's not like you.
I know, right? And then I was flicking through my Instagram and I saw something on Junkie or Pedestrian, where it's my one of two news sources. And basically it was an article saying that when there is equality within the domestic labour in a cis-het relationship, the male gets more sex. Right?
Okay.
This study has been done.
Yeah.
Like, save your fucking money, science. Just ask me and 10 other cis-het coupled up women, okay? We all know this, right? So basically, researchers confirmed it. When men pull their weight with the domestic and mental load, the sex drive, when they don't pull their weight, our sex drive shrivels up, okay? Equality in relationships equals higher levels of sexual desire. And not surprisingly, same-sex couples have a more equal distribution of domestic load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my marriage, we both equally agree to pay for a cleaner. We do.
Yeah.
By the way, cishet, what a terrible sounding word.
I have to say it though.
Cishet. I know, of course you do.
Cishet.
It does sound like the noise you would make in the shower when you're not using tissues. Cishet.
So I get really weird talking about the heteronormative stuff because a lot of our audience aren't, but a lot
No.
are.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
No, I'm just saying. No, I like that you are.
I
I'm
have
just
to.
acknowledging it's
Yeah.
not an elegant word.
yeah. And they're all, yeah. So anyway, I'm going into hetero town. I'm so sorry, but I need to vent. And so I'm already mad. I've got the heroes. I've read this article that science has someone spent money on this. And I just talked to 4 women, cis-het women. Anyway, so this is all brewing. And I'm like, okay, so are you right over there?
No.
Oh, far out, mate.
Keep going.
Sunday is Father's Day. And look, it's hard. I understand not everyone has the father, and your father's no longer with us, and I know that it can be a hard day for everyone. I acknowledge that. And by the way, when I die, you are to, on Mother's Day, you are to watch Drag Race, you are to eat tacos, you are to get dressed up in sequins, and you are to dance. There is to be no posting on Mother's Day, like bringing other people's Mother's Days down. Oh, I miss my mum, and it's such a privilege, hug your mum. Like, don't do any of that. Let mothers have their day without making them feel bad and go and do things that make you think of me. Play this recording back when I'm dead.
Defend her legacy.
Avenge my death.
Yeah.
God, it's taken a long route to get here. Scott and the girls completely fucked Mother's Day for me this year. There's no way around it.
Feels like the historical retelling is getting harsher.
There was nothing done. No one made me breakfast in bed. She wasn't home. Odie slept in.
Look,
Scott
didn't
do
she come
anything.
home despite having a hangover and still participated in the
No,
lunch?
she didn't get home till midday of Mother's Day and didn't tell me where she was.
That was enough for a lunch. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm getting intense eye contact from one person and no eye contact from another.
We already did this.
I know.
Excuse me.
We've already done this. Why are you bringing up old things?
I'll tell you why.
And also, I did nothing. That's incorrect. I
you
got you
me
tickets to
the
your favourite
Script.
band.
Not my favourite band.
You literally, all right, go back to the podcast you last spoke about this, and that is exactly how you worded it.
Oh, God. Hi, it's Em here. She was right. Damn it. I did say that. Do you remember the band The Script? It's been a while since the two of us. It's like they were my favourite band. I just felt like I had to come on and acknowledge it. All right, back to the podcast. Shut up, Chella. Because you know why? Because
You're ruining my story.
No. Oh, my God.
Hi, gay.
That doesn't even make sense. And then what?
This bench tells me I booked dinner for Dad for Father's Day on Saturday night.
I booked it for Nono.
My question is,
Yeah.
am I a petty plastic bag floating in the wind or not? What do I do? I wish this is the one moment. I mean, I wish we could take calls. I wish we could do.
Totally. I think the problem that you got here was even if you did go down the road of lashing out, I can't see a way.
It's
that
like
you're
Britney
really
doing
gonna
Oprah, right? Like she can't because she'd be angry.
But I just don't think that you're going to affect. Like if you did nothing, I don't think Scott's going to care. That's the problem. Like
It's
if
true.
if you've got a reaction in mind, like I think if you lavish him in gifts and everything like that, he'll be like, thanks.
Yeah,
And
which
if you
he
do
is.
nothing, he'll
he
be
doesn't
like,
care about
he
effort.
doesn't care.
So what can I do?
Run over his bike.
Yeah, that's right. You'd have
Do
to
you know
destroy something.
How many times I've fantasized about doing that? It's not healthy. I even see the mangled wreckage under my tires. I can visualize it. That's the only thing I could do that would break a sweat from that man. That's it. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the other things that annoy him? Oh, putting the wrong
He's taking his
recycling.
nail clippers.
Taking nail clippers and putting the wrong plastic in the wrong recycling, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that just to piss him off now. Like I put something I know can be recycled in the main bin and wait for
Or
him to
let
find it.
him watch you put food scraps in the bin and not in the food bin.
So why don't I just do a day of that?
Wow. Got no problem with snot in the shower drain cleaning.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
let it go.
Sorry, I can't.
What? I don't produce
Sure.
snot.
Okay.
What? So sue me. I can't help it. All right? What does Beyonce say? I'm one of one.
I'm number one. I'm the only one.
I'm the only
Don't
one.
even try to compete with me.
Correct. I'm snotless. I'm peerless. I'm
Okay.
snotless.
I love it that the way that Chella can make up for Mother's Day is by choosing an appropriate path of revenge for Father's Day. Then that is how she will win back her mother's love. It's very healthy.
All right, on that note. I'm going now. Because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show me what you work. Make him go,
You're gonna
Leave
leave
it
it
going,
Are you going to have to pay Katy Perry some money for that?
Huh?
Are you going to have to pay Katy Perry some money for that?
No,
How
I
long?
can sing the
You
whole
can't even
fucking song.
recognise the song.
Oh, speak for yourself.
No.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
This is Emsolation.
Okay, gang, that's it. I hope you're feeling happier than you were when you pressed play. Maybe you're a little bit confused. You probably have a lot of things to Google, huh? Thank you so much for being here. Now, there was something I had to do right now that, So when I admitted to Michael Lucas that I was, in fact, under the spell of Renaissance, I did send a voice memo to him and he didn't save it. But I, of course, saved his voice memo back because I have worked in radio and broadcasting and podcasting long enough to know that everything is content. Everything is content. So what you're about to hear is Michael's response to me sending him a voice memo saying, fine, it's got me. I love Renaissance.
This is so fucking satisfying. I really appreciate your generosity in admitting in this moment, but also it's unstoppable because once it gets you, it is a fucking addiction and you need to listen to it all the time, in order, constantly. I have not stopped.
Look, it's not often he gets a victory. See, hear how happy he sounded. All right, gang, have a wonderful, wonderful few days. I'll be back Tuesday with Free Time Tuesday. Who knows what it'll be? If you have suggestions, if you have questions, if you want me to do, solve a problem or possibly make it worse, feel free. Contact us. hello@mrussiano.com is where you'll reach Gemma, my wonderful EA, and she'll pass everything on to Ben, my wonderful EP. Speaking of Ben, he does a stunning newsletter every week. I also write a little note to you all. If you want to be a bigger part of the community, and we also have links to things we might have spoken about. We have TV recommendations, podcast recommendations, movie recommendations. It's a really lovely little, we put a lot of effort into it. Ben puts a lot of effort into it. If you want to join our mailing list, go to our Msolation Instagram, which my Chella runs, the wonderful, wonderful child of mine. That is at Msolation Podcast. And if you go to the highlights, the very first reel is the explainer on how to become a pen pal of the show. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I know it can be a hard one if you don't have a relationship with your dad or if your dad's no longer with us. And I urge you to, I guess, try and reframe it because it's not something that you can avoid. And I know personally when there's hard anniversaries coming up, I start to, they appear like a really dark cloud on the horizon. And I've been working really hard to reframe a couple things for myself. But I urge you on Father's Day to, if you're missing your dad, he wouldn't want you to spend the day sad. Do something of his, like I suggested with Chella. Do something that he loved to do in his honour. And if you don't have a relationship with your dad and if it's complicated, I'm sure you know a dad who does a good job. Go celebrate them. This is something that you can take into control, and it's hard enough to not find, little sensitive soft spots on the horizon in our lives. And I think, Father's Day and Mother's Day and events that kind of revolve around family can be really hard for a lot of people. I totally understand that. But there are ways that you can make it easier for yourself if you're there. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do to survive them, is just, find another focus, shift it slightly. I hope Father's Day is okay for you all. I'm celebrating Vincey, my dad, the greatest human on the planet. I love him so much, my dad, Vincey. So we're going out for dinner, as you heard. We're going out for dinner, and I'm going to do something nice for him on Sunday. Don't know yet. I asked him what he wanted, and he just said, pay my speeding fine and take me out for dinner, which is what I'm doing. I've got to think of something nice for him. Anyway, that's enough from me. We'll catch you on Tuesday. Bye, guys. Gang, don't say guys, exclusionary. By my pals.
Msolation with M. Russiano is a Spotify exclusive podcast recorded at Down the Hill Studios, hosted by M. Russiano with Michael Lucas, executive produced by Benjamin Wasley, produced by M. Russiano, edited by Ezekiel Fenn at Entente Music, with videos by James Henderson, socials by Marcella Russiano Barrow, with assistance from Jem Evans and Georgia Watts, plus occasional office shelf installs and flat pack wrangling from M's dad Vincey. Get more Msolation by following us on Instagram at Msolation Podcast. You can also sign up for our weekly newsletter. Join other Msolators of the Msolation group on Facebook. The answer is Harry Styles. And please take the time to share this podcast with a friend and make sure you're following us on the Spotify app by hitting the follow button. Thanks again for taking time out to listen to this week's episode, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon.